breaking news for Central and South America. If you're not familiar with my channel, I report the news for Central and South America with a special attention on Medellin, Colombia, and Colombia as a whole. I have a boatload of good stories for you today, so make sure you stay to the end. And of course, hit like. Hit like. If you can't go down, hit like. It's appreciated. Let's jump into this first story. Unfortunate news to have to pass on again today. Another American citizen has been found deceased, this time in Laureles. He showed no signs of violence, but lifeless. This is how a U.S. citizen was found in La America. In events that are subject to investigation, authorities announced the passing of a U.S. citizen identified as Xavier Alwyn, 28 years old. According to preliminary reports, the victim was taken to a clinic from a home in the La America neighborhood. Alwyn allegedly had health problems. However, the cause of his passing is yet to be determined. The case is under the coordination of the local prosecutor's office while the corresponding investigations are carried out. Our condolences to the family and friends of Mr. Xavier Alwyn. Of course, always, please be kind in the comment section. Remember, a lot of the families will seek information for their loved ones, and they will find this video. Please be respectful in the comment section. Vicky Davilla blasts Petro over funeral hypocrisy. On August 13, 2025, Colombian journalist Vicky Davilla sharply criticized President Gustavo Petro for considering attending the funeral of Senator Miguel Uribe, calling it an act of hypocrisy. Uribe, who is a prominent opposition figure and presidential hopeful, passed recently, and his body lay in state at Congress. Davilla argued Petro's presence would be inappropriate due to their political rivalry and Petro's past criticism of Uribe. She emphasized that Petro's attendance could undermine the solemnity of the event and appear insincere to Colombians. In flyer news, WestJet chaos, flights grounded across Canada. On August 13, 2025, WestJet faced major disruptions, grounding multiple flights across Canada due to operational issues. Major hubs like Toronto, Pearson, Vancouver, Halifax, and Winnipeg are heavily affected, leaving thousands of passengers stranded. The airline cited technical problems and supply chain delays, exacerbating travelers' frustration. The media erupted with complaints about poor communication and lengthy delays, with some passengers stuck for over 12 hours. WestJet issued apologies and promised to rebook affected travelers, but no clear timeline for resolution was provided. In more flyer news, Air Canada strike looms, thousands at risk. Air Canada is bracing for a potential strike as union negotiations falter, threatening to disrupt travel for thousands of passengers. As of August 13, 2025, the airline's pilots, represented by the Airline Pilots Association, are pushing for better wages and working conditions. Talks have stalled with a strike deadline looming. A work stoppage could ground flights across Canada and international routes, impacting major hubs like Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. The airline is preparing contingency plans, including rebooking options, but travelers are anxious about potential cancellations. Headed to Medellin? Make sure you get your smile right. Make sure you see my dentist, Dr. Carlos Mori. Good location, right on 43rd, good price, and of course, the best service you're gonna get. That's right. Bogota mayor slams Trump's criticism. On August 13, 2025, Bogota Mayor Carlos Fernando Galán responded forcefully to former U.S. President Donald Trump's claim that Bogota is one of the worst places in the world. Galán defended the city, highlighting its progress in safety, infrastructure, and cultural vibrancy. He cited declining crime rates and growing tourism as evidence of Bogota's appeal, rejecting Trump's remarks as uninformed. The mayor's rebuttal has sparked national pride among Colombians, with social media buzzing in support of Galán's stance. Trump's comments made during a campaign event have reignited debates about foreign perceptions of Colombia. Costa Rican economists warn of U.S. cash tax. Costa Rican economists raised concerns over a proposed U.S. cash transfer tax that could impact remittances and trade. The tax under discussion in the U.S. would impose fees on money transfers to foreign countries, affecting Costa Rica's economy, which relies heavily on remittances from the U.S. Experts warn it could reduce funds for families and disrupt trade balances, potentially increasing living costs. The proposal has sparked debates in Costa Rica with calls for diplomatic talks to mitigate its effects. U.S. Senator threatens Colombia with tariffs. On August 13, 2025, U.S. Senator Bernie Moreno warned of potential tariffs on Colombian goods amid strained bilateral relations. Moreno cited concerns over Colombia's trade practices and alleged failure to address gird trafficking effectively. The threat has alarmed Colombian officials who fear economic repercussions, particularly for exports like coffee and flowers. Colombia's government is pushing for dialogue to avoid tariffs, emphasizing the strong U.S.-Colombia partnership. Social media in Colombia is abuzz with criticism of Moreno's stance, with many defending the country's anti-gird efforts. The situation remains tense as tariffs could disrupt Colombia's economy and affect thousands of jobs. Note, I have to remind you, we pay the tariffs. So this whole tariff crap, importing countries pay the tax. We pass it on to you. Remember that. Colombia mourns Senator Miguel Uribe in Congress. On August 13, 2025, mourners gathered in Bogota to pay respects to Senator Miguel Uribe, a prominent opposition leader and presidential hopeful whose body lay in state at Congress. Uribe was remembered for his fierce advocacy for economic reform and anti-corruption measures. Thousands attended, including political allies and citizens, reflecting on his widespread influence. The ceremony was marked by emotional tributes with speakers praising dedication to Colombia. The nation remains in mourning, with Uribe's legacy shaping ongoing political discussions. Spirit Airlines faces bankruptcy crisis. On August 12, 2025, Spirit Airlines announced it may not survive the year after declaring bankruptcy. The low-cost carrier cited failed turnaround efforts, rising operational costs, and intense competition as key factors. The airline has struggled with declining customer satisfaction and mounting debt, exacerbating its financial woes. Spirit is exploring restructuring options, but liquidation remains a possibility, threatening thousands of jobs and disrupting travel plans. Passengers are advised to monitor bookings closely as cancellations are likely. The crisis has sparked broader discussions about the sustainability of budget airlines in a volatile market. Headed to Medellin? Make sure you do more than just the nightlife. See a bit of the culture. Take a tour. See my guy Andres at Nomad Travel. Remember, he also does safe airport pickups and drop-offs for me, for you, from the airport and back and forth. Contact information is in the description of all my videos. Mexico expels 26 cartel members to the United States. On August 12, 2025, Mexico deported 26 alleged cartel members to the United States as part of a bilateral agreement to combat organized crime. The individuals linked to gird trafficking and violent activities were handed over to the U.S. authorities for prosecution. Mexican officials described the operation as a significant blow to cartel networks, emphasizing strengthened cooperation with the U.S. The deportations follow increased pressures to address cross-border crime. The operation highlights ongoing efforts to disrupt cartels, though challenges like corruption and violence persist. U.S. warns of investment risk in Nicaragua. On August 9, 2025, the U.S. issued a warning to investors, highlighting significant risk in Nicaragua due to political instability and economic challenges. The advisory cites the Ortega's regime, authoritarian policies, including arbitrary arrest and restrictions. It also notes Nicaragua's deteriorating economy with high inflation and declining foreign investment. The U.S. urged caution, warning that assets could be seized without due process. The warning could further isolate Nicaragua's economy, impacting its ability to attract capital. Dominican scam ring busted, targeting U.S. grandparents. On August 12, 2025, Dominican authorities dismantled a call center scam ring that defrauded elderly U.S. citizens, particularly grandparents, out of millions. The operation, based in Santo Domingo, used deceptive tactics to trick victims into sending money, often posing as distressed relatives. Over 20 suspects were arrested, and authorities seized computers and phone records. The U.S. Embassy praised the crackdown, noting ongoing cooperation to combat transnational crime. The bust underscores the growing threat of international scam networks targeting vulnerable populations. U.S. ups the reward to $5 million for Haiti gang leader. On August 13, 2025, the U.S. increased its reward to $5 million for information leading to the capture of Haitian gang leader Barbecue. Linked to widespread violence and extortion in Port-au-Prince, Barbecue, head of the G9 gang, is accused of orchestrating kidnaps and attacks that have disabled Haiti. The reward hike reflects U.S. efforts to curb Haiti's escalating gang crisis. Haitian authorities welcomed the move but face challenges in apprehending him due to his strong local influence. The situation remains volatile, with ongoing violence complicating efforts to restore order. You should look up, I saw a documentary, actually a YouTube vlogger that went there and was looking for Barbecue and walked the streets with Barbecue, so you get to see who Barbecue is. It's kind of different to see, it's weird to see how the media portrays someone and then how they see themselves and how their people see them. It's a good look, so look up for Barbecue. Anyway, Medellin targets digital nomads with new lodging. On August 7, 2025, Medellin developers unveiled plans to attract digital nomads with tailored lodging designs for remote workers. The projects include co-living spaces with high-end internet, co-working areas, and amenities like gyms and rooftop terraces. The initiative aims to boost tourism and position Medellin as a global hub for remote work. Developers are banking on the city's affordable living costs, vibrant culture, and mild climate to draw nomads. The move reflects Medellin's ongoing transformation into a modern, tech-friendly destination. Want to know what helps me stay in shape? It's cassava. It's my meal replacement protein shake. With 25 grams of plant protein, cassava is a good way to supplement your daily meal intakes. Discount code is in the description and will be for any future videos going ahead. FARC recruits indigenous children for GERDs. On August 13, 2025, reports revealed that FARC dissidents in Colombia are forcibly recruiting indigenous children to produce and traffic GERDs in rural areas. The children, some as young as 10, are coerced into working in its cocaína labs or as couriers, often under threats of violence. Indigenous communities in Cauca and Nariño are particularly affected, with leaders reporting dozens of missing children. Colombian authorities have intensified operations to dismantle these networks, but the terrain and the lack of resources hinder progress. The crisis highlights ongoing challenges in Colombia's peace processes. Adidas accused of cultural appropriation by Mexico. On August 9, 2025, Mexico accused Adidas of cultural appropriation over a new footwear design featuring traditional Mexican patterns. The government claims the designs exploit indigenous cultural heritage without permission or compensation. Adidas responded, stating the patterns were intended as a tribute, but the controversy has sparked widespread debate. Mexican officials are demanding an apology and potential legal action while social media users are divided. The incident has reignited discussions about cultural sensitivity and global branding, with Mexico pushing for stronger protections for indigenous designs. And lastly, there was a violent clash at the Sao Paulo versus Atlético Nacional match at the Girardot Stadium. On August 13, 2025, a violent brawl erupted between fans of Sao Paulo FC and Atlético Nacional during a Copa Libertadores match at Anastasio Girardot Stadium in Medellin. The clash, sparked by a disputed referee call, led to dozens of injuries and several arrests. Fans threw objects and engaged in physical confrontations, prompting police to use tear gas to restore order. Both clubs condemned the violence, and CONMEBOL is investigating, with potential sanctions looming. Social media footage shows chaotic scenes, fueling debates about fan safety and stadium security in South American football. And I've said this before. That's one place I'm not going. I watch it on TV. I watch it from the bar. I watch it from the sidewalk bar. I watch it from my Airbnb. I'm not going to the Anastasio Girardot Stadium and getting in. I don't like crowds like that. I don't know about you, but that's too many people around me and something pop off. And remember, I'm Colombian if I'm there. Nobody knows any different. So if I happen to be wearing that yellow jersey and I'm at the wrong spot, I just prefer to watch it on TV. You tell me what you think in the comment section. Anyway, you're up to date with the latest news out of Central and South America. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to travel, but travel safe.
Thanks for hitting like. This is Born Rob.
So hey girl, thanks for coming by my place.
No worries. You mind if our girlfriend can come by with us?
Hell no. This why I watch DC Rob. Headed to Medellin, Colombia? See my guy Andres with Nomad Travel for safe airport pickups and drop-offs and tours. Contact information in the description below.